I can tell the story of your criminal referral to the Justice Department, but I'd rather have you tell this story and how it came about. And one of the things that really stuns me about it is it centers on, among others, a Trump cabinet member who I forgot existed. I forgot who was Secretary of the Interior after the first one had to leave. But please tell us what this criminal referral is about.
So what happened here is the Deputy Secretary of the Interior, the Secretary of the Interior at the time was Ryan Zinke, who's currently running for Congress. But the Deputy Secretary, his name was Bernhardt, he took a secret meeting with a developer named Mike Ingram trying to develop a project in Arizona in a very environmentally sensitive area. This was a secret meeting. It was never disclosed on any of Secretary Bernhardt's calendars. It wasn't disclosed to our committee when we were investigating. A couple weeks later, this Fish and Wildlife career employee, 30 years, just doing his job, gets a phone call and is told that a high-level Politico wants him to reverse his decision that this development would harm the environment. And on October 6th, three things happened, all at the same time. First, the Army Corps of Engineers announced they were reopening this permit process. They were going to reevaluate their decision. They had previously denied the permit. Second, Mike Ingram and his 12 buddies of his donated nearly $250,000 to the Trump Victory Fund and to the Republican National Committee. And three, this Fish and Wildlife, this whistleblower, this Fish and Wildlife person got a phone call telling him that he needed to reverse his decision. And he got the phone call directly from the Department of Interior in Washington. So the facts here are really shocking. This is a quid pro quo. That's what it appears to be. In return for making nearly $250,000 of donations to the Trump Victory Fund and to the Republican National Committee, this developer was basically able to buy his way around environmental protection law. So the facts of this case are shocking, and they are very, very serious. Quid pro quo is the most purest form of corruption that there is. And officials need to know that just because they're out of office, just because they try to hide their tracks, doesn't mean Congress isn't going to do its job and conduct that oversight. And when we find crimes, we're not afraid to make the referral to the Department of Justice.
And you found all this in your subcommittee investigation, which you've now basically forwarded on to the Justice Department to see if they find criminal conduct.
Yes, the chair of the Natural Resources Committee, Raul Grijalva, was working on this investigation. I took it over on the Oversight Subcommittee, and we did it together. And I'm really, really proud of how careful and thoughtful. What we really tried to do here was get the facts, and then we're making the criminal referrals so that the Department of Justice can conduct the depositions and go through the formal legal process to reach their determination of whether or not criminal charges should be filed. But given the evidence before us, we have a responsibility as Congress members to see that the law is being followed. And so that does not appear that happened here. And that's why we made this unusual step. This is the first time that the House Natural Resources Committee has ever made a criminal referral. And I think that speaks to just how egregious the conduct is here and just how important it is that we in Congress are reestablishing the rule of law and the expectation that administration officials are going to follow it.